Hello, hello, hello! Welcome and well met. Welcome to the stream. I'm Leanna Theodosia, and today I am playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles once again. We are on the last bit of the game, and we only got this one stream this week because I felt like playing other games. That's that's it. No special reason. Leo just wanted to play more games than 3. Alright, so let's actually get into it because it's a little bit interesting today because we're not playing as Ryanosuke for this bit. We're playing as another character, which is Mikotoba, Suzato's dad. And we get to have Shlomes with us. What did I call him? Sherlock. No, I'm like, nope, or Sherlock. But he's Harlock. Gosh, I don't like how it just swaps the bleeding letters. Sometimes my poor brain. It's so easily confused. Anyway, let's get in the game. Oh, it was not heavy. Hold on. Let me go back here. I will fix it. I did not check. My bad. Where is it? Right here. Like, I need to go. It should be plugged in. Yeah, oh yeah, I did. The cord just got messed with, of course. Now we're good. All right. Technical difficulties, scuff. It never leaves you. Doesn't matter how experienced you are. You've been doing this for like the entire, nearly decade VTubing's been a viable thing, and you'll still get scuff stuff. It just happens. Actually, I feel like you get more scuff. Like, the more advanced stuff you get, the more likely scuff is to happen, because there's more likely things for, there is more stuff to go wrong. If it's like you start off with and there's like 12 possible things that could go wrong, and then you end up with there's 50 possible things go wrong and you're shocked about it. It's like, wow, things get scuffy. I'm like, gee, it's like more can go wrong. Also, hello Grandma Iris. Hello Margaret. Welcome, welcome. I almost said hello to myself. I had a comment from me. I had the pinned comment from YouTube. If you're on Twitch, I don't know if you can see. Actually, can you even see that? I don't know. But yeah, I'll check later. Maybe. I probably won't. I'll forget. Okay, mousy mouse, go away. For now. Or move out of the way, I guess. Is there just no sound? Hold on. Is that a problem on my end, or is it just quiet right now? Nope, there's sound. It's just quiet. Okay. Okay. Let me pull up the history. Ah, yes. They were talking over the radio thing. Alright, the little bear. Where's the bear? Where's the rabbit? Which one is it? No, we have the Herlock one. That's a rabbit. Herlock has Iris, and she's like a little bear, I guess? At least that's what people have been calling it, so I guess bear. But, let's see. What is it? Alright, Mikotoba and Shlomes are going to investigate the scene of the crime. Ryanosuke and Susato are still in the courthouse. Because they're a ways off. And they need to relay some important information, or else the trial will end not in our favor, which is bad, because as much as dislikable as Van Zieks can be, doesn't deserve to die. Because that's what would happen. And I guess more importantly, I guess to some other people, the actual bad guy would get off scot-free, and we don't want that for sure, for sure. So let's get going. Alright. Oh gosh, Mikotoba's voice. I don't have a set voice for this man. It just sort of changes. I'm pretty sure I've had a different voice every time I've done Mikotoba. I'm like, it's just, Okay. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Shlomes, we have but half that now before the grouse pulls to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. Oh, Naples. Sorry, excuse me. Naples. Ah, scuff. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. What do you mean time, Shlomes? So, let us begin. Oh, hello. You're a familiar face. First class cabin no 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. A crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? You do not recognize world-traveling great sailor ticking Stronghoff when you see. Great detective, ha! I don't think so. Why do you have Shlomes written on your arm? Is he gonna sell? Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Goodness me. Is that a tattoo? It says Shlomes. Or is it a number? I must say, while such adoration is flattering, naturally, it does leave me a little cold. I mean, I think it's a number. Number is actually what? Tilting my head. 563104 5? I'm surprised you can write Shlomes' name with numbers. I think that's the most surprising thing. I immediately looks at that like that's written weirdly. Those are numbers, aren't they? I play too many mystery. I don't even play actually that many mystery games, but I'm like, I'm starting to pick it up. Anyway. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing! My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he is a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. Hello, Frug. Welcome, welcome. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard the ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with this name on board. Doubt. We know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Eastern man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So Shishiro's realized that we're after him, has he? This cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No! I have orders not to let even mouse inside. You gotta solve. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so he leaves the area. He can hear you. Doesn't great detectives see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined. And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Shlomes. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I'm not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotoba! I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock. Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you're so kind as to inform me the request time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? Ah, these two are so much fun! I've had them on not even quite the full 10 minutes. I'm already like, ah yes, Mikotoba and Shlomes are a fun duo. Sign need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man! So, the game is afoot. Sometimes I can't tell. Oh wait, is there anything behind me? There might be something on the floor behind me. Let me just... Okay, no, there's nothing behind me. Alright. Let's look over here. Wow, the ship's log is in bright blue like the other bindings for on the other ship. The doors and stuff are green. It does look... It's like colorways are different. They move the mouse trap. Do I do anything with this? It must be a mouse trap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. Oop, I didn't actually want to do that, but okay. Oop. That sound like big mouse and trap. Because of those making mouse sounds. I will bring bucket of water later to put out of misery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Oh really, Shlomes? And pray tell, what sound do Russian mice make? Pee, naturally. That's also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So go ahead, Mikotoba, do a pee this time. Oh, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. I accidentally clicked that. But that was kind of funny. Like, I didn't really mean to. What is this? Ah, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewmen wouldn't be able to see what we were doing. Maybe? Arg, what is happening? Where is light? Oh, Shlomes, now! I don't know if this will work. Can Shlomes even see? Nobody there. That was a close shave. Quite a knack you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Shlomes. I shall have to think of another approach. Okay, let's try the fire alarm. I didn't see it over here. At this point, I'm just messing around. There appeared to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Oh, do I want? Maybe. Okay, let's look around a little more. No, I think not. That would never work, surely. I need to concoct another distraction. Also, I just realized Mikotoba is 100% down for mischief. Okay, I think I actually do have to use this. Let me just click through this. Sure. Here goes then. Pardon me in advance. You! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be a very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganoff, report at once. Sorry, sir, nothing to report. It was just a stupid trick. No, not by me. By world famous... No, as I told you. Now, Shlomes, now. Done. He's like, done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't just stand there gawking at my brilliance, Mikotoba. In we go! Oh, yes. Ah, jeez. Oh my gosh. Well, something happened here. Okay, there's a bunch of clothes on the ground. What? Why is there a... Okay, there's a lot going on. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Are those PJs? Those clothes on the floor there. They're Shishiro's, without question. Well, it seems we're just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. The burly crewman may return at any moment, Shlomes. Indeed he may! Which makes this all the more thrilling. Oh, we got a different song. Okay. Once again, is there anything behind me? No. Ooh, this is a pretty good song. Okay. Good then, looks mean. According to the report I was giving, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was! It was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. Shlomes indeed is such a Cooper. Really, Mr. Shlomes, surely you can just tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in the Adventures of Herlock Shlomes. He's like, I'll just read what Iris wrote. Okay, why is there something stuffed in here? There's a speaking tube here, look. Though it's been stopped with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed! So the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really becoming a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Okay, there's ice. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here, how it... Is something wrong, Shlomes? You suddenly trailed off. There's ice in it. Ice melts. Ice, Mikotoba, ice! What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy! Chilled drinks! Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner, after all. They have enormous refrigerators for all sorts of lavish produce, as well as ice. Having a large enough fridge is important. Oh, it sounds so bad I'm out of context, but it's like it needs to be big enough to fit a body in. Because we're looking for... The time of death was skewed by, the, corpse, as it were, was put in a chilled area, so, yeah. Please don't think it's out of context. Okay. Okay. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Is he gonna get jealous? Suddenly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. Shlomes, don't bite me, Mikotoba. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. Shlomes. This is the waste paper basket. Look, and there's still rubbish inside. Indeed. Then let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. Sincerely hope only for your work. There he goes. Ah! Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago. The night before we arrived in London, then. when I was still aboard myself. Evacuation drill notice, 31st October. Following the oop, okay. Did we get that? Okay. I wasn't able to read it. It was on a timer. Ah yes, there was an evacuation drill. I remember now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Okay, there it goes. I want to check that. Oh! I don't have the court record. Oh. Interesting. Clothes. That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirt, dressing gown, momohiki work trousers, a tanzan robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly, Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of their wardrobe. Looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry. Indeed! You could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps. I'm sure you made a mention of packing too few. I'd very likely drown in one of Shishiro's shirts. No, I'll just buy extras I need, I think. Okay, this has been moved. These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and/or travel cases. That one's new. Gee, I wonder why this rule came into effect. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. About the fact that they're not straight on the wall. Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably but just your imagination, though. A trifle. And you know what I always say, Mikotoba? There is nothing important about trifles. Probably just my imagination. But I think that might be slightly off. Okay. Books. I think they've also been recolored. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found the mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Herlock Shlomes, my dear fellow. I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. Why do I get the feeling this is less of Shlomes going, there isn't the book about me here, but more of, how dare they not put my daughter's book on this ship? Because he is really quite proud of Iris, and he does definitely view her as a daughter. Despite Iris maybe not? I don't know. We'll find out. I shall leave a copy behind me. I just happen to have one with me. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? I love this section so much. They're a comedic duo. They're competent, but gosh, they're funny. This is empty. The wall is slightly different color just here, do you see? Oh. Indeed. What you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now there's a bold decoration worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. It may well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late. Is that a reference to Arsène Lupin? I don't know what Arsène Lupin actually steals. I haven't been able to read any of Marcel Leblanc's works. I really want to, though. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Shlomes, don't you? An outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. Yes, this. Can we look at this again? Okay, yeah, these are rules of passage. We skip through. New dialogue? No. Shlomes is like, no, we don't get a look. Shlomes. Why? The doors on this vessel have locks, I believe. A wise idea. You never know when and where... you never know where and when criminals may strike. But of course, to the great detective Herlock Shlomes, lock, bolt, or shirt button, it makes no difference. All are unfastened with equal ease. The way you go on, you sound rather more like a great thief than a great detective. You would make a good Arsène Lupin, that's for sure. My dear Mikotoba, as long as there is greatness, I am quite satisfied. Of course you are. Confirm, would not mind being the thief. Oh right, we haven't clicked the chest. It's a very sizable trunk indeed. The Shiro is partial to all things large. A rather clumsy fellow. If you failed to notice, he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but it's still a hindrance to speedy escape. Pity! It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a more morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. Oh. Hello. You are still here. Ah, Able Seaman Strongnov. Hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. You are waiting for me. Of course! I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you play before. Or innocent... chicken? I guess? This is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off, now! Of course! We shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there's something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally. The debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kayo! Kayo? I don't know. I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not left this vessel at all. Ah! And for another, my dear Seaman Strongnov, you know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? Overture to Pursuit is playing. Why is that funny to me? How can you? Good gracious, Shlomes. You mean you've worked it out? All of it? I have too, actually. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Time is of the essence. Mr. Strongnov, allow me to remind you of an earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. That is what I said. Sadly, that was rather a clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted too, Mikotoba. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the possibility of Jigoku having disembarked? Oop. I think I gotta wait until it's done. The impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago. Let us see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Shlomes. Not 3. Why, of course it has. Quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe, and the answers shall become clear. So, impress me. I think I can manage that. It's the glass containing ice. Ice melts. I've been using ice recently, and it's been rather warm, so I know how fast ice melts, and that's very unmelted ice. Especially if it's supposed to have been 2 hours. So, okay, it's...
Take that!
Yep, there we go. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned for 2 hours. Despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Ah! It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin till moments before our arrival. With his well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments, Shlomes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Strongnov? Ugh. But why would Shishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Shishiro was, yes. 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. Ah, then it is news to you, is it, Mr. Strongnov? Shlomes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remains of the Dark D that took place in here are being masked by something quite innocuous? Hold on. Incongruous. Oh, incongruous. Alright then. Okay. I must say, I did not foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Now then, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. I believe... Huh. Okay, wait. What is the correct wording? The remains of the Dark D that took place here are being masked by something quite... Okay, so we want to hit... I believe the rules of passage. I'm actually... Because this is the thing hitting. Clearly, nothing's hidden here. It's just saying it's been moved. So it should be this. Yes, I was right. He does the dance. That's how we're not gonna get. It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging, crooked on the wall, as if they were put up there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. That the frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. Ah, you are right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Strongnov? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Ugh. Oh dear. You really seem to have touched a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift the frame off the wall? Oh, there's a bullet hole? That looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls? I see. The projectile has been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Strongnov. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect the Eastern stranger? Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Ugh. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly as shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Shlomes. Ah, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I could certainly do that. Oop, I think it's the chunky arms. No, it's the tattoo. I think we might... Oh, we can just present. We can't look at it.
Take that!
This. Oh no. Mikotoba, no games now, were my words. Were they not? Come on, Shlomes. There's a fun in life without a little fooling around, Shlomes is like, not now. Quite right you are. That was a close shave. I better rethink that before I'm the fool here. I can't examine things, though. There isn't a button for it. Okay. Yes, he's helping out. I'm just gonna skip through this. Okay, can we get back to looking around? Do I have to look at a different angle? Okay, hello. Oh! Oh, he's got money. He's got a lot of banknotes. Okay, it's not the letters. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's this, I think. Let's see. If I noticed that beforehand. It's almost too obvious for words. Not to me. Quite. The universal language of the world. Money. Ah. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Shishiro Jigoku, yes? Ah. So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. The way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Strongnov. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this present moment in time. He looked at the chest. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the figurative glance is your unfailing ally. Yes, I think you're onto something here, Shlomes. You found the clink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. I could hardly call this barely perceptible, Shlomes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you would describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes aside, my dear fellow. In the large trunk. Clearly. Yes. Mikotoba's just as silly as Shlomes. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Ah! The truth is, Shishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time. And is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. Imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. And I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Strongov. No, I know nothing about combination codes. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Huh? Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have very little time. 563145. Oh gosh. Okay. Whoop. What is... Oh, I see. Hold on. See, 5... It's 5, 6... Oh wait, not 6. It only goes up to 5. Oh, then what is it? Hold on. An upside down... E looks like a... Is it a 0? Quickly scrolled 0 or something? Okay. Because we have 1... 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 0. Okay. Oh, we can do review scene. Maybe it is a 0? Or is it... I guess. I don't know what else it could be. Okay, let's see. We'll leave it at that for now. 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. Oop, wrong button. Okay. Oh, I had to leave that as 0. Whoops. Oh. Oh yeah, you could write it too like that. Okay, thank you, Frug. Okay, that was what? That was second number. Okay. I keep pushing the wrong button. Okay. 1, 0. 1, 0. This one's 4. And the 5 was at the end, correct? Yes. Yeah, okay. 5, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, 5, 2, 3, 1. 0, 4, 5. 0, 4, 5. Okay. Just double making sure. Okay.
Take that!
Woo! Click. I did it. It's open. You had to meddle, didn't you? Hi. You're looking very suspicious right now. Well, Eugen, you found me now. Shishiro. There's too many burly men. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Shlomes. I read stories of your many exploits. Excuse my matter, Shlomes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Sheshiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here in this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey. Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London, to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxurious steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So, you'd already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugen, I had nothing to say to you. Oh, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its onward voyage, and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Sheshiro. Take it. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from British courts would be. You came prepared then, Eugen. That is a nasty look. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Shlomes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that? Shishiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. Like a little tiny watch handle? From like a pocket watch that may be broken and wound up by a little toy soldier key? Hmm? Okay. I'm done being sassy. But what? I have no idea. The look on his face. I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. Small component has been entered into the court record. Woo. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. You couldn't say you and my daughter. Mikotoba. Well, he did acknowledge his daughter. That's good. Okay, now it's 12:10 p.m. Oh, hello. Is everyone? Yeah, everyone's back. Azuma Asogi. I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes, whilst this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept that the unfortunate conclusion... we must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. Hi, Vanity. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all the relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Deep breath. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way, and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Shashiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku! You found him. But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? On a ship? In a trunk? He was located in France during the recess, at the point of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Shlom's famous deductions. Herlock Shlomes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because along with Prosecutor Osugi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Everyone is sketchy! Which means that Shashiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to education at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. Ironically, Fancy's the least sketchy, even if he is the most acute. This is so true. It's like, why is everyone else so sketchy? Man, Gregson's sketchy, Strongheart's sketchy, Kazuma's very sketchy. And then there's Van Z's going, I have no idea on what earthly, like, an Earth's good name, what is going on. I love this. There's Shlomes and Mikotoba breaking into things. Alright. No objections from either side. No, my lord. Okay, little salute there. No objections, my lord. Fancies. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. Are you gonna do something? I don't trust this. Oh, we actually hit the to be continued. Okay. We're like an hour away from this. Okay. I'm still gonna play a bit more. I'm genuinely surprised Asogi didn't have anything to say. I swear he was gonna jump scare me again with one of his hold it, and I'd be like, oh my gosh. Oh my, what even thing was that? Where he genuinely gave me a really good scare and I was sitting there and I was fuming about it because I'm like, Asogi, I'm going to spank you. Like, you scared me so bad. Okay. Investigation part 1. Alright. We're like began in the middle of trial.
An unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Shlomes and his partner returned to Baker Street.
Oh my gosh, food! Can I have some? I'm actually hungry. A little bit. Shlomes, oh, hi! Oh gosh. We have returned, my dear fellows!
Come back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help.
Think nothing of it! I believe you've had an even more weary day than Mikotoba and I, no?
You could say that. We were on brink of defeat in the court earlier.
So this prosecutor, Asogi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Yeah, he's going through an idiot phase right now. He'll pass.
Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kozuma's changed. How, Mr. Naruhodo? I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin.
Well, nonetheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. Shlomes has a way with words, don't he?
When all this started, almost a year ago now. Mr. Shlomes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie.
Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Not as much as going over across the United States. Oh gosh. Now I feel like looking up maps. How much of Europe can you fit in the US? I know it's quite a bit. It's really funny to listen to various Europeans from, you know, various countries look at such a thing and be like, oh my gosh, I knew the US was big, but this really puts it in perspective. You can stick the whole country here, and there's people who are like, there's entire states that are as big or bigger than my country. And I'm like, yeah, he's big! And then you can stick the US, China, and a handful of some other countries on the continent of Africa, and people still talk of Africa as a single country. And I'm like, Africa's a continent, not a country. There's 50 plus countries on the continent of Africa. Sometimes people make me grab the bridge of my nose, I swear. Anyway, before I go off about too much greater of a tangent. Oh wait, I just realized one thing no one did for Kazuma's dead thing is touch him after a bit of time. Like, he just felt warm. Like, corpses will not feel warm after a while. I know! I know! We're playing through this! The only thing going through my mind is a Tiger and Bunny with Kotetsuchi Karavi going, did you even check my pulse? At the end of the anime, and everyone's freaking out going, oh my god, you're alive! I'm like, note to self. If I think someone's dead, make sure I check the pulse and to see if they're still warm, or else I might think that someone who's still alive is dead. It makes me laugh. Oh wait, did I see that? Actually, I saw that. Yeah, Tiger Buddy came out way before I think this game came out in English. And I could not stop thinking about that. Like, every time it's like, Kazuma is not dead. That scene plays through my head. I'm like, did anyone check his pulse? Was Shlomes really the only one checking this man? It made me laugh so much. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm getting distracted by something else entirely. Okay, Okay, yes, I have not read this. Alright, what were they? Yes, Shlomes the same as a Journey to France, and Ryunosuke wants to know, why in the great wide world did Shlomes lie?
Well, it is in another country, Mr. Shlomes. So, what of news of Jigoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Lord Professor Mikotoba, this must be quite a shock for him.
Ah, yes! I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home.
What is it?
Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday.
Put upon me, Shlomes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Oh!
You had a reply already. What was so urgent though, Mr. Shlomes?
Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present.
Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone.
Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak and kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding.
Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up.
I don't know why my brain's stuck on the Yorkshire pudding at this. I'm like, I know that's not like the pudding you see in the like Japanese things, and I'm trying to remember why it's different from the puddings that come to my mind, but it's not coming to mind. It's slightly bothering me. I have been informed it's a type of bread pudding. That's what I was trying to think of, but failing. Okay. Okay, moving on, now that that's not bothering me anymore. In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the one and only seat with a helping of pheasant as well. You like bird?
Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there.
Why ever not? Are we set in places this evening?
Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy.
For me?
That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey.
Mickey? The nickname she came up with is Mickey? I forgot about that. Ah, this is why I want to replay these games. There's so many little things that I've forgotten. There's also so many things that I catch up. I'm like, oh, I see the hints now. I see the hints. Anyway.
I see. Well, it's terribly kind of you. It's a shame, really.
What do you mean?
Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean. Oh!
Oh, Shlomes is unhappy. Like, everyone else is surprised, and then Shlomes like, ah, heck.
Iris, do you mean... Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened in the conversation you had, after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left.
She's such a clever girl. Bye, Shlomes. Good luck with that, Shlomes. By the way, Shlomes fell over saying what, but I'm past that. I'm sorry. I love it when Shlomes falls over. It's just, Iris, I outwitted you. Shlomes, what? Falls over. I'm like, okay, bye, man. That's still my favorite animation in this game. I think Shlomes falling over in a panic or a kerfuffle or however you want to phrase it. And his little looking to the side with his hands up with his fingers curled. I also quite like that little animation. It's quite I find myself thinking of it when I'm like, ah, about things too. But I also, and then like everything else is just Van Zeeks. Van Zeeks is so... He's like, forgive the discourtesy of me pitching around my hollow chalices and bottles and putting my leggy onto the desk. I'm like, Van Zeeks confirmed as a cat. He's that cat meme of just, I stick my leggy out. I'm like, how flexible is this man? This man can absolutely kick you in the face. Okay, anyway.
The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually...
Why are you freaking out? Okay. Alright.
Actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris's father.
Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I
know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
Oh, no, that's quite alright. Puppy! Puppy! Shush! Okay. I think she's done. Then why don't I get apologetic, pheasant?
So just who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today.
No. So then, let us dine. Why our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. Fine ideal, Shlomes. It all looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like. There are always seconds.
I am hungry now. Whenever food gets mentioned, it's like, ah, this all sounds tasty. Can I eat some? I wonder what I have to cook around the abode. Maybe I'll be cooking.
This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan, and about Kazuma. Can't let this opportunity slip away.
Shlomes, why are you sitting like that? Is anyone else around? Or is just Shlomes curled up on the sofa? Okay, it's just... Why are you curled up? Why am I befuddled about this man? This man always stands in the weirdest poses. Why is this weirding me out?
Mr. Shlomes, what are you doing?
He's depressed. Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nonetheless, I feel the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes.
Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy.
Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer.
Mr. Shlomes, could I discuss some things with you?
Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. That was a quick turnaround. No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game.
I can probably contain my curiosity on that one.
You needn't look at me in that fashion.
And what fashion?
It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Did you just... The music turned more serious and everything, and this man's making puns. gosh. Okay, we can talk to him now. A telegram from Japan and Kazuma's death. I'm surprised that's not in the death part is not in quotes. Okay, but as per usual, let's start from the top. A telegram from Japan.
So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then?
Ah, this! I think my lucky stars had arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
What? Those 4 names? We've come across that exact same list before. It came up in that unforgettable case last spring.
Yeah, the last case of the first game.
What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. K. Osogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. We didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan.
Well, 3 of those names we know for sure were working with Reaper-related things, with Asogi and Shin and Gregson. So I imagine Jay Wilson probably was also involved. But also, all but one of those people is alive at this point. Make of that what you will, I suppose.
So, why are the names coming up again now?
Yes! Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Shlomes? I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office and undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you. And in my name, I wonder what guise he opted for this time. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand. Do you guys know that Hosonaga feels indebted to Ryunosuke, so you used his name so he couldn't refuse? Because that's a little low, but also clever. Also, give Hosonaga a break. But also, yay, Hosonaga mentioned! In this house, we appreciate Hosonaga. He's a goofy man. He's a good guy. Also, he needs medical attention, like, at all times. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the list of names we found in Shashiro's office as Shlomes... Wait. Anyway, the list of names was found in Shashiro's office, as Shlomes predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... It was sent to Judge Jigoku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies. Nothing pleasant, that's for sure. I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it.
Mr. Shlomes looks deadly serious for once.
Oop, okay. Speaking of court record, we might want to go check that. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh right, we have Karuma stuff. Well, it's in the court record, so we don't have it, but we can look at it. Build a hachi-machi. Okay, we had... Oh yeah, the evacuation drill itinerary. A notice about a practice evacuation to be carried out by the crew of the SS Grouse the night before the ship arrived in Dover. It was found in Judge Jigoku's cabin. In the trash bin. Okay, let's read this. Oh right, I'm not clicking anything, so I don't actually have to move over it. I'll just stay here. Okay. Evacuation drill notice, 31st October. Following the departure from the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. In order to review our evacuation procedures, the drill will take 20 minutes. Crew to resume duties as the drill is over. Okay, so... I'm guessing Gregson's untimely demise happened during this. That's my thoughts. Oh yeah, and then there's this, which... Let me grab this. See, it's missing the top thing. And that was noted. Oh, I might actually need to click on that again. Hold on. Let me do that. I'm here.
There's that tiny little stub sticking out from the small hole. Here, look. I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time. In that case, you know when an old inspector took such good care of this watch. It probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course. It could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene. Maybe.
As in, there absolutely is. We just found it. Well, Shlomes found it. Small component. A small machine part that Mr. Shlomes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin on the SS Grouse. It is tiny. Look at.
You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's a part of the top of a bucket watch that you twist to set the time, isn't it? It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one. A crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head. It's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually... Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? If this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head. If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have.
Can I click anywhere else? I don't think it's updated. I don't know if it'll let me update it, but they didn't mention it, so okay. Wait, do I click on this again? Hold on. Is this different? Oh yeah, it has a different mark. Okay. Well, it's doesn't have a check mark anymore. Susato's just quiet.
What do you think, Miss Susato? I feel sure I know exactly what this what will fit here. Really? I was just thinking precisely the same thing. We're about to see that the little round component is actually part of Inspector Gregson's broken pocket watch. Really? I was just thinking precisely that too.
These two are goofballs. But the crown, it fits.
A perfect fit. I knew it.
Did you?
Alright, perhaps you knew it. I'll make note.
Okay, I got like little hiccups. let me drink some water. Maybe that'll help. Okay. I got the lump in my throat gone.
I'll make note of this new information at once.
Okay, now it's updated to a small machine part that Mr. Shlomes found on the Judge Jigoku's cabin on the SS Grouse. It's clear now that it's the missing crown of Inspector Gregson's pocket watch. Yay! Okay, now we got that bit of information. Okay, and then we have the telegram for Japan. Oh, it says, yeah. Oh, yeah, it says Hosanaga even. Let's see. Telegram from Japan. A telegram from Inspector Hosanaga in Japan with details of the telegram he managed to locate by stealing into Judge Jigoku's office. Records found as indicated duplicates followed. K, Asogi, and, well, you know, it's the 4 names they were mentioning. And yeah, it's signed Hosonaga. It's in fact Hosonaga. Yay! Hosanaga's helping! Okay. Let's go back to talking to Shlomes. We are on Kazuma's death now. Fake death. Not actual death. How do you phrase this? It's not like he did this on purpose. He wasn't actually faking his death. Shlomes was hiding the fact. How would you, like, seriously, how would you go about saying? Anyway, Kazuma's supposed death. Poor Asogi. Got beamed on the head, something fierce.
That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Burya was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective's lie.
I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost.
What?
I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Miss Suzato. And then, I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my, you mean...
The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. 1 year university student lawyer and 1 judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least.
Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in the aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you...
Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England?
The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan.
Flashback Hosonaga! Okay, sorry. I had to get that out of my system.
In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
No, Suzato was sad. Everyone was sad. My dear fellows, the majority of the problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is 1 lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Shlomes. We know of no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. He stares at Ryunosuke.
So, you manipulated me?
I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend.
I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her?
Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought.
I seem to remember Miss Suzato and I had some rather strong words for her.
He's like, I just told off a lady who was innocent, Shlomes. I'm going to smack you. Oh, that'd be fun. I think Shlomes would deserve a good smack from Ryunosuke in this instance, to be all honest. I certainly would turn a blind eye to it. I'd be like, no, Shlomes, you deserve that. Well, she certainly was not devoid of all guilt. She deserves every word, I'm sure.
I wonder if she made it to America then.
She's upset. Understandably so.
I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend. I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Shlomes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain?
No. The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Oh!
Oh, Dr. Wilson dying? An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand.
An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand. We need to find out exactly what Mr. Shlomes knows.
The list of names? Because that was on... Oh, what is his face? Well, no, that wouldn't... Would it be... I mean, there's the dip. Oh, okay. Let's just... Can I show him? Oh, I have to go and present. I mean, there was also Karuma, but I don't think that's what he means. I don't know. Do you mean this? The list?
There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Shlomes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched. So, you obviously knew. That's where the list of names would be found. K. Osogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we only learned of these 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top-secret government communications that were leaked.
That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that. Approximately this time last year, in fact. When you were both still in Japan. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between Britain and Japanese governments.
You're perpetually doing
what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Shlomes, when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my, Mr. Shlomes! What a fabulous line!
Was that actually from one of the books? I genuinely don't know. Again, I've only ever read The Hound of Baskerville. And I tried to read the one that I think Moriarty shows up in, but every time I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with... I don't want to deal with Sherlock and Moriarty in one single... I never had the yen to read it. It's just because I'm like, Moriarty and Shlomes going at it sounds like a gosh dang headache. Anyway. Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partially correct and partially mistaken. Nonetheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Shlomes, please, tell us all you know.
Oh wait, I think I might... Hold on, where is that thing? This. Yeah, A. Shin was after J. Wilson. She killed him. And Osogi was supposed to go kill Gregson. So the top 2 names are the assassins and the bottom 2 names are the targets. If I'm understanding this correctly. Okay. What are they gonna say? Let's see if I'm right or not.
Tell us about these 4 names, and the tragedy to which they are all somehow connected.
Okay. Oh, it didn't set a new one. It just changed an old one. Huh. Are we going to get a full 4 things of dialogue kind of options? Huh, I'm curious. I don't remember. The 4 names. Ooh, okay. As I said when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names, because you see, there was someone else on that list, who I believe to be recently deceased. What? Who? A Shin. It was ascribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Ah, Kei Asogi and T. Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. He was trying to save Asogi's life. Shlomes is questionable, but he's not heartless.
Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Shlomes. Oh yes, Shlomes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recount many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
Why is Iris upset now?
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then?
Oh, right. She, didn't know that.
I didn't know. Oh, Iris. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. Well, what you just told us, Mr. Shlomes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, yes. You mean about the Asa Shin, I presume. Oh, of course! Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett.
I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Ah!
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis I had formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy.
What? Topsy?
Topsy hypothesis. Ooh.
What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Shlomes?
I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asa Shin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front.
Ah! Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. Well, the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it for a second. But this made the frickin' tutorial trial relevant to the overarching plot. I freaking love the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Because it's all everything is important. Everything. And I love it. Okay, let me reread.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by assassin is because he was the target of an assassination.
And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective.
What do you mean?
Well, does it not strike you? There's another among the four, who subsequently became a visiting student.
Wait, you mean...
But of course, a name you only... a name you know only too well.
You mean...
Kazuma?
Oh! He did say in court earlier today.
Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Sketchy man. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
Surely not.
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say. Detailing an assassin exchange.
An assassin... An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly have got involved in something like that?
Playing Kazuma's prosecution theme, I think. Oh man, the music's so good in this. Okay, assassin exchange. Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange.
So, to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as the visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then, the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain, in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But what on earth is the point?
Don't forget, Naruhodo. The British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction.
Oh, yes.
Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact it was brought into play suggests So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels.
The highest levels?
These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked by not a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motive behind this plot. Wait a minute, Shlomes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Shishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson.
What? Kazuma was here for Gregson. So Jigoku wasn't actually the mark. Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Oh. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Shlomes.
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow.
Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention to us at the Great Exhibition that he'd be transferring to Paris police and taking Gina with him.
But without informing me, he engaged in one last incitement, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last.
This is too much to take in.
It is quite a lot of a lot.
All right, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time!
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow.
What preparations?
Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then, Susie would have been my big sister.
Mikotoba's like, please don't put me in an awkward position.
I'm sorry, Iris.
Is that though?
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know... So, you'll teach me all the ways you know how to throw Runo to the floor. I can't see that in a straight face. Why is that the first thing Iris has to learn from Susato?
Iris, I wish to throw a grown man to the floor. I mean, I could see how that would be useful. But I get the distinct impression Ryunosuke is very much in danger of being hucked over somebody's shoulder at present. Poor Ryunosuke.
Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You don't have to agree to... You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Bruno.
Huh?
I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother.
Ah, found family! They're all being idiots about found family, and I am here for it. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Big brother and sister acquired on Iris's end.
Right, I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. Are we getting another to be continued?
So, the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths, while exposing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an ever greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon.
Ah, it's everybody.
Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world, standing steadfastly behind me.
Aww, Sappy! Sappy, Sappy, Sappy! Aww! Oh, we're at it to be continued. Probably a good spot to wrap it up today, to be honest. That was a lot of a lot, but also very wholesome and sappy. Oh my goodness. This is why I keep saying Because again, I have played this before. This is my second time going through this, even though I do play dumb for the sake of not spoiling anything and whatnot. But this is why I'm like, Asogi, you are an idiot. This man be dumb. But also, I completely forgot about the family thing that Iris actually asked. Well, Iris is like, well, she's like, I wouldn't mind you being my big sis, Susato. And Susato's like, I wouldn't mind being your sister as well. And they're like, family, let's go. And then Iris turns to Ryunosuke and is like, can you be my big brother? Like, that's so cute. It's so cute. I forgot about it. I'm here for it. Found family, let's go. And then Ryunosuke's being all sappy because he's like, yes, this is family. And they are all standing behind me and rooting for me to solve this. Like, ah! Sappy. I love it. But in any case, the plot has indeed thickened. It looks like Judge Jigoku is suspicious as all get out. Asogi's an idiot and also suspicious. I'm never letting go of my suspicions of Strongheart. I mean, he's literally being a megalomaniac on the front cover of the freaking case. I'm like, evil. I know how to read some of my visual literacy is good. I'm not letting that go. But okay. I know it's a slightly bit, sooner than I usually wrap up, but it is a good place to stop. I mean, it's either stop now or stop at the beginning of the trial and have things kerfuffle because of that, so. So, unlike other times, you guys are gonna have to wait until next week, because this week, this is the only, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles stream I am doing, though I don't know if I'll do 2 streams next week. I'll have to see if I still want to play more games, but we are playing, well, I am playing. I got Dragon Quest Builders 2 scheduled for tomorrow. Thursday is, okay, no, is it? I cannot remember my own schedule. Why am I like this? Hold on. Where is my schedules? Ooh, not there. Where is it? Okay, there. Yeah, the end is nigh. The end is nigh indeed. Okay, let me... Oh yeah, Paper Mario. Paper Mario is on Thursday. It's not Stardew Valley. I was like, which game was on Thursday? I have a terrible time. It's like, hey, you need to remember something, so you're not gonna be able to remember it. And I'm like, for crying out loud, where is the thing? Shuffle through it. This is why I write everything down. Even why I have a sticky note. Hopefully this time, Thursday, I gotta switch my model so I don't forget again. Have the sticky note more readily apparent, so hopefully that doesn't happen anymore, and I actually use my other model, what fits the atmosphere of Paper Mario better. Because it does seem like y'all Mises are enjoying the fact that I use that model. Even though this model, I think, fits better for Ace Attorney. It's a little more detailed. That's a little too detailed, actually, I think, for Ace Attorney. It still fits better, though. Yeah, we got Dragon Quest Builders 2, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, and Stardew Valley for the on this week. So hopefully one of those is interesting. We're having a couple of chill games with a couple of more intense. That was like emotionally intense for Great Ace Attorney here, because yeah, that was a bit of that was quite a lot. Especially I remember getting to this point and being like, oh boy, holy cow, Kazuma, what are you doing? Because if you remember, I was genuinely very upset that the game's like, hey, Kazuma's dead. I know, like, we made you really get attached. Like, he was very likable in the very first case, but he's dead now. And I was like, I hate you so much. And then it's like, hey, he's actually not dead. And that was a lie. I was like, yes, Kazuma. I was just like, let's go. And then it's like, hey, he's a terrible person. And I'm like, game, stop doing this to me. I'm seriously gonna lose it. But yeah, it was like, it's a lot. Especially since I do like Cosmo. Even now, I do like Asogi overall, even though I still think he's an idiot. Yeah, okay. But I should be wrapping it up here. And as per usual, before I go, I must say I'm very grateful for all of my followers and subscribers, depending on the platform, because I am dual casting right now, at least you forgot. Very grateful that you come over and come chat with me, come see what I've been doing, see what I'm streaming. And I'm also very grateful for anyone who is kind enough to leave any other interactions, you know, like likes and comments and that sort of thing. So I never ask it of people, I would like to earn it. Or, you know, just be something that people like. Or my content I make is just something people like, so. Hopefully we get more people coming in, because I would appreciate it. Especially if Yumisi's deign to, how to say? If you want to be like, hey, look at this person. I'd also appreciate that. But again, don't have to. Just, I would be grateful. But in any case, whether you're a subscriber, follower, live viewer, or VOD watcher, I bid all of you fond farewells with bye-bye, and I hope to see you on another stream.